States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since you've read the mission and vision.
I can read it. Our mission is to foster academic and social growth for each student in a safe, supportive school environment. Our vision is to be a learning community that inspires our students and staff to think critically, grow intellectually, and live with integrity.
Thank you. Item 3, any additions to the agenda? Okay. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Got a motion for the approval of minutes of the regular meeting of March 20th and the special meeting on April 13th.
I will move.
And I'll second.
Any comments, any additions, changes?
I wanted to ask for the minutes for the special meeting on April 13th, will the attachments that are mentioned in the minutes be included?
We'll put them in the book, and they could be put on the website too.
Okay, if that's possible, then that'd be great. That would give
Okay.
the community the full information that was provided.
And would you like me to send you the notes from my opening remarks?
Well, we already prepared the minutes, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably don't need them.
I could offer that at the time, huh? Okay, it's good. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved.
Okay.
We have number 5, the Wednesday presentation.
Where would you like us to be?
That's a good question.
Right there is
So,
fantastic.
are you gonna, yeah,
They're talking to
We don't have anything to present.
okay.
It's just us, you know, our bodies. Okay, so, the gist is, the big picture is that we started Wednesday enrichment blocks this year, that take place, after a shortened bell schedule. So the last couple of hours of each Wednesday, the kids had to sign up for activities to go to, and, they went off and did them. So that's the big picture. So now I'll start back at the beginning. The reason why we started this, back when we were half virtual, half in person, we had Wednesdays as kind of a break in the middle of the week for teachers to collaborate together, plan lessons together. The students had a virtual day that day. It was sort of a reset day. They could get their work done. They could work with other students on group projects, whatever they needed to do. And we really enjoyed having that Wednesday, the freedom to be able to do all of that. But when we came back to school the following year, we knew that the parents would not go for having a 4-day school week. So we decided to be a little creative. We formed a Wednesday committee, and we met over a number of months and came up with this idea of having these Wednesday blocks so that teachers could get some collaboration time while keeping the students at school. So half of our staff were able to sign up for collaboration time with members of their department, with grade level team members, and they could work on planning, they could work on projects, just, you know, whatever they needed to do to be better. And then the other half of the teaching staff signed up to host some of these enrichment activities. And so some of the activities included a cooking class, a high school helper, or high school tutoring at the elementary group, which these 3 young ladies will talk about in just a minute, and, you know, a variety of enrichment opportunities that both the kids asked for. We asked for feedback from the kids on what they wanted and what the teachers wanted to offer. And in addition to the enrichment activities, we also had some tutoring sessions for kids who were behind in their grades and they needed either extra time to work on their core subject areas, or they needed one-on-one help from a teacher in those subject areas. So, so that was kind of the philosophy behind it. And so we didn't get it started first quarter because we were still, you know, getting our feet wet with the new school year. But at the beginning of second quarter, we sent out surveys to the students asking them which activities they wanted to sign up for. And most of the students, I think, got pretty excited about the opportunity to have these outside of school day enrichment activities. And we did require students who had D's and F's to be placed in one of the tutoring sessions. And so the philosophy behind that was that if they saw what their peers were doing, all the fun, cool enrichment activities, they might be inspired to bring up their grades so that next quarter they could do these fun, cool activities as well. So, do you have any questions so far? Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to these lovely young ladies, and they can talk about their experience during the Wednesday blocks.
So for Wednesday blocks, both second and third quarter, I did elementary tutoring, and first quarter, I did school beautification as well. Both of those, in elementary tutoring and school beautification, I signed up for. I enjoyed them a lot. I really like Wednesday block because it's like a break from the repetitive school week because we have the same schedule every day. And I really like the break in the week. And I love tutoring the elementary kids like a lot. I think that that's really fun, and it's a really cool way to explore a bunch of different opportunities that I wouldn't usually have because I'm in regular classes.
Okay. During the first part of the year when we started the Wednesday blocks, I did biology tutoring because I really needed help in biology, like in elementary tutoring, and it was like really helpful because being able to get the help in biology that I needed really helped me to stay on top of my grades, and having elementary tutoring to do was also like super fun, and I really enjoy like hanging out with the kids, and I'm sure they enjoyed it too, like they really needed it, and I just think it's really cool.
For second quarter Wednesday block, I did geography and English tutoring, and it was a lot of help because I didn't really like getting my work done in class, but like seeing what my friends were, because they were in elementary tutoring and I wanted to do that too, so I got my grades up. And then third quarter, I did elementary tutoring, and I really enjoyed it because I wanted to be a teacher like in the future, and I liked getting to see how teachers of all different grades worked and seeing like the teacher that I kind of wanted to be in the future. And yeah.
And I'll have to say, the elementary kids, when they see the high school helpers coming, they are so excited. They just, I mean, it's like you're a rock star entering the room. It's really a fun thing to see.
Awesome. My name is Becky Johnson. I'm the engineering teacher here. I'll just close it out by talking about what we would like to do in the future and how to improve our Wednesday blocks. I would have loved to bring you some data and statistics today about like how much better our grades are doing at this point, but third quarter grades just came out today, and I am a spreadsheet whiz, but not that much. I didn't quite get it done for this meeting today. But one of the things we are noticing is that it is an incentive for students not to have to go to the tutoring blocks, and so they will bring their grades up in order to have a chance to do one of the other enrichment blocks, and that's a really cool opportunity for kids. It's also great for students to be, some students are assigned tutoring blocks, but students can also request a tutoring block even if their grades are fine, even if they don't have a D or an F in a subject, just in order to get the extra help to have that one-on-one time, ask teachers questions. And students are signing up for that. Students who are not required to are signing up for that. In the future, we would like to have more honors options, enrichment options for our students who are doing really great in our classes, and so some more academic challenge type courses that we don't have yet. We are also constantly going back to both faculty and students and asking them what they would like in the future, what they would like for us to have. And we're being very flexible with the format. So going from second quarter to third quarter, we shortened the blocks a little bit because teachers had asked for more time in regular class time as we were moving into testing season. And so they asked for that extra piece. And what that did to our blocks is it made our blocks a little bit shorter, and it made some courses need double block time. So like the elementary school, when they move over to the elementary school, it takes longer than our now 45-minute blocks. So we're changing things in every quarter. This quarter, we actually haven't started the blocks yet because it is testing season and we don't have time on our Wednesdays to do it, but we will start in May once testing season is over. We're always open to other opportunities, other ideas, if anybody has any for how to improve the blocks in the future. And I would love to get those statistics. I'm a statistics nerd. I would love to get those statistics to you someday soon. Any questions about the blocks? Anything else you would like to know from adults or students?
Could you share your names?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm Daisy.
I'm Markia.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah. So have you had a chance, you particularly you talked about wanting to be a teacher. Have you had a chance to talk to any teachers about your experiences yet? Or looking forward to that?
I talked to some teachers and they showed me programs of like some things that you might need to help like pass like auditions and to get into colleges and stuff.
Very nice. Yeah, one of my daughters is at the Hamilton County Extension Office, so she comes here for the garden park. She graduated in 2009. I have a daughter who graduated in 2015 who was she went and tutored a senior study, and she's going to be interviewing for an aide tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So very proud.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, I love what Finneytown. I had 7 kids go here, graduate every other year, 2007 through 2019. And the opportunities, they were all ready for what was next, whether it was my son who got a PhD in pharmacology and is doing cancer drug research, or my daughter who does extension work. My daughter has finished her cosmetology school. So just been a great school, and the opportunities, you can get out of it what you put into it. And just this is just another great thing happening here.
Yeah.
And the fact that it gives the faculty some of what they needed too is just really nice on top of that. So thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. It's great to have students.
Okay, Dr. Banks, have the report.
So a couple updates for everyone. One, we held our special board meeting last Thursday, and so I know we don't have the whole board here tonight, but we need to start thinking about and working towards what we want to our preferred developer agreement to include as we look at those options and partnerships with the township. Our attorney did say he was going to send us some additional information about an RFP process that we could look into in terms of that partnership with the township, which was a little bit, it sounded like it might have a better way to pull in more options for us with the development. So when I get that from him, I will share that with all of you. Our next Pro Action Cafe is Monday, May 1st. I do know we have several of our special education staff planning to attend that. And so we will be hosting at least one topic around student services. So if you are interested, please attend. Our personnel committee met. We are entering spring season, which tends to be very high on hiring. And so right now we're going through retirements, resignations, looking at what that looks like. You should start to see quite a few postings coming up here soon once we get those nailed down. We are also looking at, we are in the process of and should be able to share in the coming weeks. Our architect selection and our construction, our CMR selection. So those should be finalized by the first week of May, second week of May. So more coming there in terms of the secondary campus project. Just a reminder to the board members on April 28th, family groups invited you guys to, if you're available, to attend at 9:50 a.m. I did want to remind each of you about that.
Do we need to RSVP or anything? Or
I don't think so. I think just show up, yeah. And then, I did include on the most recent update just some of our end of the year events. Yep. The spring season gets busy with concerts and celebrations as we get ready for graduation and the summer break. So We are also just, there is a group I'm working with around legislation. Some of the legislation coming down right now that's incorporated into the budget that we're working on is House Bill 1, trying to get them to rethink that. And then also there's a voucher bill that, if passed, would make 80% of Ohio's school-age children eligible for vouchers. So just some things we're working to advocate for public schools. So
Okay.
that's all I have.
Any questions? Yeah, and so when we get to board coordination, if you can give us a list of dates, maybe we can try to get some coverage between us for some of those events.
Okay, yeah, I have those with
I think
me.
it's in the board update.
It is, but she has a hard copy.
Yeah, she has it.
Yeah.
Perfect, awesome.
Yeah. Okay, it's time for public address. So I'll read the little thing here, and I'll call you the way the names are on the stack of paper, no particular order. The board believes that it is in its best interest and the best interest of the students of the district to hear comments from members of the public. It's been therefore a longstanding practice of the board to encourage and allow residents to speak at the public meeting. This may be done by completing the bottom portion of this form and giving it to the board president prior to the board meeting. The following guidelines ensure that anyone interested in addressing the board may do so. The board conducts the business of the school in an effective and efficient manner. The presiding officer will acknowledge those speakers who have notified the board. So right here, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Each speaker addressing the board must state their name for public record. Any material or handouts that must be presented to the treasurer for record. The naming of individuals, profanity, abusive language, and speeches that invade individual privacies will not be tolerated or permitted. The board will take no action regarding matters or issues presented through public address in a meeting in which the public address was made. All necessary follow-up will be made verbally or in writing at a later date. So first I have Bob Hauer.
Yes. First of all, we enjoy coming to the meetings and finding out what's going on. The presentation by the students are really fascinating and great to listen to. We come to have a dialogue with the board, and when the cafe method is one where we really, the residents don't get a chance to speak. So we really don't know what's going on. I think it'd be a good idea, instead of having a cafe or writing things down, that you have a dialogue from both ends, both from your standpoint and from our standpoint. I think you can accomplish more if we can understand where you're coming from and you can understand where we're coming from. So I think that's, maybe it's different, but my wife and I were in business, and we had 15 employees, and we always talked to them personally. We didn't ask them to write things down, and we found that to be more productive than to just write it down and say, oh, now I'll get to you later. So with that being said, I'm interested in, like, obviously the finances, and you're interested in the finances. What can you do to better your situation? And obviously, what can we do to help you better that situation? What comes first, the community or the school board or the school district? I think if the community is happy, then all of a sudden the district becomes happy. That's why the one fellow with, I know I'm going on, with this Hall of Fame is trying to get everybody back involved with Finneytown School District. I think that's fantastic. But I think the dialogue is really important. And with regard to the Whitaker, I keep hearing different things, that it's a $24 million project. That's significant, but I wonder if it's $24 million for the builder, how much of that is coming back here to the school district? I mean, is that a 50% markup? What's it cost him, $12 million, and it's going to be $24 million? I know the jewelry business, if it's $10, they mark it up twice. It's $20, $40, all of a sudden it costs $10, it's $40. So I'm concerned about the obviously the financial situation of building a big project like that, whether it be 4 stories or 8 stories. And I'm against all of those. So that's all I got to say right now. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. James Thompson Jr.
Yes. I'm James Thompson. I live at 7161 Winton Road. I wrote a few things down because I don't want to ramble. Democracy is the power of the people, a way to govern which depends on the will of the people. Money should not be the sole basics for making a decision. Tony says these are not low-income apartments. I can't say one way or the other. I haven't heard anything that says that they're not. This will hurt our community. I'm sure part of your campaign when you ran for office was that you would help the community. How's building these apartments that will lower our property value and increase traffic on Winton Road helpful? Aesthetics should be part of this process. We want our communities to grow with home ownership. I hear the board, Tony just said it today about he lives in Finneytown, he grew up in Finneytown, his kids go to Finneytown. Transient families that live in apartments, maybe 2 years, 3 years, unless they can find some cheaper rent, and they're gone. So how's that helpful to our community? I really want you to think about this. Would you want these apartments built across the street from your house? Because if I come out my front yard, I have to see them every day. Okay, 180 apartments, say there's 2 cars, what's that, 360? And what if they have friends? So you're talking over 400 cars plus the traffic that we already have. I'm really upset because I don't think that you guys thought this through. I think you thought about, hey, we can make this money. We can get a boatload of money from this, so this is what we're going to do. From the time this has started, this has been hearsay. That's why we started coming to these meetings. Somebody told somebody else, then they told somebody else, and then we're here. When I was a boy, I was taught the golden rule. In everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. So would you want this done to you? Think about it. Because money is not everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Felicia Thompson.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to switch gears here for a minute. I'm here tonight because I'm concerned about the quality of education and discipline within our Finneytown School District. I was looking over the Ohio School Report Card for the Finneytown School District, and I was a bit appalled by the overall ranking of our school district, especially the kindergarten through 3rd grade literacy rankings. We've got to learn how to read. We've got to teach our kids how to read. The K through 3rd grade within Finneytown is rated 1 out of 5 stars, and it shows that 83.2% of our children in grades kindergarten through 3rd grade attending our schools are illiterate. I see that as a major problem. Kindergarten, 61.4% illiteracy. 1st grade, 60.3% illiteracy. 2nd grade, 61.6%. 3rd grade, 52.7%. And they're rated 1 star out of 5 for improving at-risk K through 3rd grade readers. I'm sure all of you are aware of the school-to-prison pipeline phenomena in the public school systems across the country. Statistics show that children who struggle to read in 1st grade are 88% more likely to struggle in 4th grade. And those who struggle in 4th grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of school. 2/3 of students who cannot read proficiently by the 4th grade will end up in jail or on welfare. The 4th grade is considered the watershed year. It's predicted that if students cannot read proficiently in the 4th grade, they have approximately a 78% chance of not catching up. And this is indicated by a 48.2% of Finneytown High School students being proficient in language arts in high school. Our high school students are only 48.2% proficient in language arts. And this is, in my mind, a direct reflection of them not learning and getting the skills that they need during their early childhood education. Across the U.S., 85% of juveniles who interact with the court system are functionally illiterate, and 60% of the nation's inmates are illiterate. In light of these harsh facts and the underperforming scores in our school district, I'd like to know what specific tasks are being done to circumvent low academic achievement, especially at the elementary school level, in order to raise test scores and to improve the quality education for our students. Additionally, school superintendents and principals play a crucial role in establishing the school climate and discipline, having considerable discretion in how they handle disciplinary action. Principals have the authority to set parental meetings, after-school interventions, and in-school suspicions, I should say. What is being done on the secondary campus to provide an educational environment conducive to learning and educational growth? Holding students accountable for unacceptable bullying, fighting, and a higher level of behavioral expectations. Is any focus being given to hire more minority and male teachers in the district? If the district is looking for increased enrollment, these are 2 very important factors that need to be addressed. No responsible parent is going to continue to enroll their students in a failing school district or move into a community that has failing educational scores and ratings for their grades K through 12. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And can you share his materials with?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I can stay on your mind either.
Well, this is written down, I wrote it. I mean,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And Michael Hamill.
Good evening. Thank you for Thursday night letting us all come together and hear your plans and things like that. But for me, Thursday night was really frustrating. I walked away from it really frustrated because once again, we heard things that we hadn't heard before, and we didn't hear things which seems to be a course of action. I don't think I was the only one that was frustrated by the proceedings of the meeting, what happened. Frustration could be heard in the words of the people using to describe their feelings when asked to take 10 minutes and write down your ideas as to what we had seen and experienced from the first speaker. 10 minutes. Comments were made, and I completely agree. We're adults. We don't want to write on pages. We don't want to write on paper. We're there for answers. We have questions that need to be answered, not on papers. We want it now. I agree. We used to have yearly meetings or bi-yearly meetings where we'd use the PAC, and the whole community would go in there and listen to a report, state of the school, state of what's going on, and we'd have an opportunity to ask questions. I haven't seen that happen for years. Why not? We need it this time because there's so much that's going on. We have questions, and Whitaker is probably one of the biggest triggers in this district. I personally feel that, again, the attempt to delve IS was underway. However, I don't believe anybody bought it this time because of the reaction from everybody during that point. There were strong words that were used in reaction to the futile exercise, and one that I heard the most was, "You have lied to us," and continue to do so. I think the word lie was a little bit strong. However, I don't think the term deceived isn't appropriate to be used. I say deceived because the ideas and schematic designs that were flashed up on the screen as only ideas weren't the ones I think people came to really see. There was no presentation proffered that showed nothing. blank land, no construction, no development, maybe not even, or maybe a picture that where Whitaker's already been removed or something, but just a plot of land to let it sit and settle until we can come up as a community with a really good idea. The pictures that were proffered up there were ideas that, in my estimation, I walked away from there thinking, these are already done. All you're waiting is to maybe a couple more months to go by, and you're going to sign the deal with the township. Because you talk to the township, and there's mixed messages that are going back and forth between the township. And some of the things that came up with the question with the architect is, I was under the impression that the design group that did the K through 6 was also going to be responsible for the secondary campus. I thought that idea was sealed and delivered. So when we started talking about the artist renderings from this architect group, I was like, where did this come from? Is this just one of those undercurrent things that we haven't been told and needs to get out there? And that was another really incredible, frustrating thing for me to see up there. And I have to go back and think that a couple of months ago, the idea came up to lease the property to a charter school. And that wasn't very well received by some folks, but I think it'd be a lot better idea to have the property open, running, some money coming in, with the opportunity to still sell it and find another reason to do what needs to be done to that property. Deceived and lack of transparency are good words to describe the situation, I believe. I was really saddened. A couple of months ago, I was sent an article by a friend about a $290,000 lawsuit that had been levied against the school district and had been settled out of, I don't know if it was when it was settled, but it was settled fairly recently. I won't describe the case since there are young ladies here. But the abuse case started in 2018. That's a while ago. Why haven't we heard anything about this suit? I mean, I think we are the taxpayers. We are paying that lawsuit. I think we deserve some information about what that money is going for. And you heard a couple of months ago, there's an amendment on the bill tonight to pay for DEI for Xavier. Were our teachers in...
You have 30 seconds.
Oh, that's great. Are our teachers involved in that meeting that went on with Xavier last month? And we're spending $3,000 along with the $35,000 to Hamilton County for whatever that was. What's that money going for? Can we not have information on that? I don't want my tax money spent for that. I almost would like to say, you know what, pull my share of the funds out, because I don't want my money going to that. I think I have the right to do that because
okay, that's your time. Thank you.
Well, okay. I have more.
Okay. Do you have a copy to leave with Mr. Oliverio?
I'll have to redo it before I give it to Mr. Oliverio.
Or you can just email it to him also. Thank you. Okay. Board coordination.
I'll start. Be brief. All right, I attended the primary PTA meeting this month virtually. Just want to say congrats to all the new board members elected to lead the next couple of years of work. Brooke Woods will remain the president for the board, PTA, and welcome to Vicky Sweeney, who's going to be the vice president. So kudos to them. Coming up is on April 29th is the PTA's annual dance recital. I have a little one that'll be in that. It's really cute. Tickets are $5. You can reach out to Brooke Woods if you're interested in attending. Staff appreciation is coming up, so the PTA is in need of support for donations for that budget for that. Congratulations to the reflection winners. There were 22 total entries this year, and on April 26th at 5:30 at the Hamilton County Education Service Center, those students will be recognized for a little banquet and desserts. So I also have a little one that will be honored at that event, so I'm excited about that. Also, there's a demand for library volunteers. So if any of your community members who are interested in doing that, reach out to Ms. Wyrick. She needs help with shelving and assisting students. The next primary PTA meeting will be held on May 3rd at 7 o'clock in the Media Center. I was not able to attend the secondary PTA meeting last month, but they do have after prom this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of time spent into that. So kudos to Zachary Veen, I believe, is the one who's chairing that, organizing that to make that a success for the students. Congrats to to the secondary PTA board members that were elected. I think Miriam, I can never pronounce her name.
Schmidt-Gessling.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to be the president this year, leading the work, and Scott Meyer will remain the vice president. So thanks to everyone who stepped up to lead this work for the upcoming year. Student Council is hosting a movie carnival night, and volunteers are needed also to make that a success. The event is this Friday, April 21st, and there is still a huge demand for volunteers. So if you are interested in helping out in concessions, reach out to Mr. Durr, and he can get you set up for that. I also wanted to discuss, I reached out to Laurie in advance. I, too, have concerns about the behavior in our district, so I wanted to set up a time where we could be trained on restorative practices to kind of get a better understanding. Laurie's already in the works. She has something she's developing so that parents could come and you can kind of get a feel for what they're working on behind the scenes. So that's something that Laurie's organizing, so stay tuned, be patient. They are developing some awesome things. Some awesome things are happening behind the works. I was able to attend the personnel meeting, and I learned a lot of things that Laurie and her team are working on. So I ask that you be patient, give them grace. Laurie is new in her role. Her team is new in this role. This was just developed last year, so I understand your frustrations, but hang in there. We can only grow, so. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Yeah, I attended the Franktown Schools Education Foundation. A lot of discussion there right now is on the campaign to get organized to raise money for the PAC, other locally funded initiatives, LFIs. And just, you know, that group has been given some money by one of the supporters to have an actually paid support person to help move those things along. So that'd be the first time that's happened with that group. They still need, as part of this, with the change into its role a little bit, they'll be considered trustees instead of board members. They do need people to help support that. And basically that is meeting once a month, talking through what's going on and advising and thinking about what can happen. This is not a group which does concessions or things like that. So it's really well suited for people who just, you know, we just need the experience. We need just people's voices to talk about the opportunities, what can go on there. It's just not, you know, so that's really, really in strong need there. You know, my wife has helped in classrooms for, wow, let's see here, 26 years now. I volunteered in various classrooms, and she's been with the same third grade teacher for several years now. And we were just, you know, timing, I guess, everything. We're discussing today what she sees as behavior in there. And so what she's seen is the most, you know, coming back from COVID, the most teaching happening she's ever seen, even before then. And if somebody was to go in there and they want kids sitting still in rows, sitting down, shut up, and staring at a teacher, you will be disappointed. Students haven't really, it's never been a natural way for any human being to learn. If you look back through history, it's just not the way humans learn. But the kids are all attentive. They all get what they need. They have different roles in the classroom. There's sometimes where a kid might be moving around. All the students are used to it. You know, so, you know, somebody's judgment of bad behavior, isn't that disrupting a student? My wife's in there every Wednesday, and those students are learning. And so I think some of the perceptions of what good behavior is, if you have a third grader who comes home every week and says, somebody moved around during the classroom, you think suddenly no classroom is happening there. It's just not true. And my wife is not always positive, right? She's very critical. She observes what's going on. And she is in this, you know, she has seen a transformation in the teachers learning, instead of fighting with their students, the number one concern is sit down and shut up, how to actually engage with the students to allow them to be who, you know, they are. Doesn't mean running around screaming. But, you know, if a kid's fidgety and they get up and move around every once in a while and the whole class is used to it, maybe you wouldn't like it as an adult, the room is not for us. The room is for that teacher. And even that teacher, she is seeing, I think, some of the culturally responsive teaching. She's putting those things in practice, so for the most productive classroom. And so as far as what might be considered bad behavior or not, it's not what it used to be. And I don't know it was ever really good for just how people move. This really isn't a chance to interact. We can talk afterwards, though.
Well, I was just wanted to ask, what happens, I mean, we were up here when two girls
Yeah,
were
so,
fighting.
yeah, so you can meet with the superintendent. She meets with people all the time.
And what happens to the students?
Right, so this isn't that kind of meeting, but Dr. Banks meets with people all the time. She can talk to you about that. Just have time with her. This is not an interactive meeting. This is not what the school board meetings are about. And so, I just wanted to share that. So, I know some people, I hear the same things now that people were saying when my kids were there. There's going to be a disruptive student now and again, and some kids can report at home, and you think there's no learning happening. My kids did a lot of learning here, so sometimes it's just you need to understand what's happening is beyond maybe what your expectation is of a classroom, but learning is happening. Eddie?
Yeah, I will say from my visit to Finneytown Elementary, this is about 2 months ago, it was very impactful to me. So as a board member, being able to actually walk through the schools might not be an opportunity that other community members would have unless you volunteer. But being able to have the tour with Lori, I actually left, I teared up because of what was going on in those classrooms. Seeing our students in bright, clean classrooms, engaged teachers. I'm sure there's times when the students aren't engaged, maybe even frequent, but I could see what was going on in our schools, and I was very encouraged. So I think that's what I'd like you as community members to hear, is that our teachers are doing a great job and they're in good hands. I did attend the FMPA meeting on the 10th. The percussion ensemble placed 6th in the finals, and they got the highest score that they've ever received of 80 points, which is fantastic. The concert band is working toward their concert, which is on May 31st. Marching band is working on their show planning, and they are selecting new drum majors in the next few weeks. I was excited to hear that the choir has started to meet after school from 4 to 5. It's a relatively small group. It's on Mondays and Wednesdays is what I've heard. I think that's accurate. Although the rehearsals aren't right after school, that's what works with our director. So I'm just glad that we're having a small group that's interested in singing after school. So upcoming events, the Spring Orchestra Concert is on May 24th. The Elementary Spring Music Concert is on the 25th of May. And if you'd mark your calendars for June 3rd, is the FMPA golf outing. I know that's pretty popular. Regarding paid parental leave, I wanted to say that Jamie and I have been working on updating the board concerning the development of some sort of paid parental leave policy. And I just wanted to emphasize to the board and also to those that are listening that while I've been working on this policy, I don't plan to make a final decision about my support of any policy until it's actually proposed to the board and the language is finalized, and after I've been able to see the financial implications and talked with our treasurer and superintendent. So perhaps that will be coming soon. I hope that it will. But I won't have a decision until it's presented to all of us for a discussion. Did want to make some comments about facilities. I attended the board meeting just like everyone else did, the special board meeting at the Grove on the 13th. If you weren't able to attend, you can review the minutes and the attachments there. Or you can ask a committee member or one of us, because we were all there, what was discussed at the meeting. I did want to say that I know that the community appreciated the opportunity to be informed about what we're looking at going forward regarding all of our properties that we own and the facilities that are on all of our properties that we've been talking about. The long-range facilities planning team has been talking about long since way before I was even on the board. But I did want to thank Scott Harlemert for speaking on behalf of the Finneytown Schools Education Foundation about the impact of the contributions of alumni that they've had and that they continue to have, both in financially and otherwise. And I also wanted to thank Dr. Banks and Mr. Oliverio for the time that they put into their parts of the presentation, because I know a lot of time went in behind the scenes to get that ready. I was encouraged that Elevar Design Group, with whom we've contracted for long-term facilities planning, provided 2 new mock-ups of potential development ideas for the Whitaker site, in addition to the 4-story apartment building complex that was initially discussed and shared with the community, or at least shared with the community in a non-organized way. So I'm happy to hear that the township has heard the voices of those in the community that didn't want a 4-story building constructed at the site, and that for now it does not appear that the township supports the idea. But for those of you that were not able to attend, the first of the new ideas was like a 2- and 3-story set of buildings constructed at the site. And the second was a 2-story development. As I mentioned in previous board meetings, I would like to remind the board of the importance to the township of the traffic light at the corner of Winton and Timber Trail. As the township owns the land Warder Nature Preserve, which is behind the Whitaker property. And I'm concerned that if we work with the township to provide this access without any restrictions, that the nature preserve will be developed in the future, and that we'll end up with half of it developed and half of it not as a nature preserve. But I do feel that owner-occupied housing, whether it's condos or some sort of single-family homes, would be the best way to encourage the township not to develop the Warder property. So I do think that we should seek to work with a developer who has some sort of an interest in owner-occupied housing, and also that the Warder Preserve remain green space as an enhancement to whatever development goes there. Alternatively, we always have the option to construct baseball and softball fields on the site. We can do that without talking to the township or any other governmental body. We could just do that. So we could provide an easement that would provide them access to Warder Nature Preserve, and this is an option that does not require any zoning changes. So if we can't reach a development agreement, or we can't find someone that would do that, I just wanted to say that that's an option that we do have, and I would be interested in pursuing if those don't work out. I did also want to extend a thank you. Just considering all the various communications that have been sent out and information that has been provided to the board, parents, and community members, I wanted to thank Dr. Banks, Mr. Oliverio, all of our other central office administrators, and all of the staff in our administrative offices for all the effort that you put in and the busyness of the last few weeks. I can tell based on the number of communications that I've received that it's been busy, and that you guys have put in a lot of time, sometimes after hours. And your work has not gone unseen, and we appreciate what you do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everybody good? Okay, can I have in financial matters, can I have a motion for adoption of consent calendar, item 9.1?
I will move.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Oliverio, can you take us through this, please?
Yeah, 9.1 is a monthly financial report for the period ended March 30th, 2023. Total revenue in the month of March in the general fund was $1,635,884. Fiscal year to date revenues in the general fund, $17,590,286. Expenditures in March, $1,712,421, and fiscal year to date expenditures, $14,533,413 in the general fund. The cash balance at the end of the month, $16,201,105. Item B, depository investment balances as of March 31st, 2023. Our U.S. bank account, we had $578,847. Our U.S. Bank Construction Fund, $3,684,324. Star Ohio, $22,424,823. Star Ohio Construction Fund number 2, $3,086,004. Star Ohio Construction Fund number 1, $1,193,545. Item C is the interest earned on depository investment accounts for March. For the general fund, we earned $94,089.78. For our construction fund, $18,001.75. And item D is the monthly bond project spending and commitment report. And referring to that document, the top half shows that out of approximately $31.6 million available in that fund, we've expended $23.6 million to this point, most of it. In terms of open purchase orders, that's reflected in the bottom portion, and we have commitments for an additional $739,909. We may not spend all that money, but we do have purchase orders for those amounts. Back to item E, it is recommended that the board approve payment for 2 invoices as listed. And that would be my report. Are there any questions?
Are you going to highlight the interest rates? Or not? So the interest rates are going up. That's wonderful that we're getting a piece of that, and we have the variable interest accounts on that. So
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, the $112,000 in interest is nice. You know, inflation's hitting us the other direction, but at least we've got some buffer going against that tide, so that's really nice.
Great.
Yes.
Any other comments, thoughts? Okay, we have roll call vote, please.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Reeb?
Yes.
Mr. Gast?
Yes, item passes. 10, the superintendent's consent calendar, superintendent's recommendations. I guess it should be 10.1 for the consent calendar.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Can I have a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, Dr. Banks.
All right, item A is acknowledgement of resignations. Like we said, this is hiring season. I did want to point out Anne Moray will be retiring from us at the end of June 30th, and she's worked with us for many years and has done a fantastic job. So we'll try to highlight her more as we get closer to that date. On item C is the approval of the contracts of the supplemental, like we were talking about. Ms. McCoy does not only our choir director, but she is part of our musical theater productions as well. She started that work. Item D is approval of payment for our staff appreciation gifts this year. And so we're looking at gifting them something from all of us for their services and their service to our students. Item E is our substitute teacher list. Item F is the second reading of our policies from last month. And then, I gotta take off my glasses for this. Acceptance of donations. It is recommended that the board accept the following donations. A cash donation of $5,000 to Finneytown Local School District High School Band from the Make-A-Wish Foundation in honor of Graydon Laird on March 16th. That was presented to the band at the concert. It was a very touching moment. I was glad I was able to be a part of that. We have a cash donation totaling $1,840.70 to the Finneytown Local School District High School Mackinac Student Poetry Trip from the GoFundMe solicited by Mr. Bidet. Received on March 20th, April 4th, and April 5th. And then Kroger gift cards valued at $200 to the Finneytown Local School District Social Work Fund from Vineyard Finneytown Community Church on April 11th. As always, we are very grateful for the support and donations. Any questions?
Oh, and so for the high school, and those were prorated, she started partway
Yes,
through the semester,
correct.
just for,
Yes.
if anybody looks at this and says, how can we pay somebody that little for that much? It's just prorated for the rest of the semester.
Correct.
Has she expressed any interest in continuing that role for next year? Do we know? Has anybody even asked? That's great. No, yeah, the continuity, having that, and also with the musical is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for the school. Okay, I don't have any other questions. We have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Reeb?
Yes.
Mr. Gast?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Item passes. Item 11, resolution by the school district board to approve the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Classroom Facilities Assistance Program Project Agreement. So is this the last resolution we'll need to get the money from the state for their portion of the secondary campus?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of interesting dates in here, all the way back to April 2015, April 2019.
Long time in the making.
It's great to have outside dollars coming into our district.
Yeah. Anybody have any more questions or comments on this? Okay.
Do we have a motion and second?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'll move if you would to call for it.
We did not have that. I just started talking there. Got ahead of myself. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay. Everything I just said happened now. How's that sound? Roll call vote, please, Mr. Oliverio?
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Gast?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Item passes. We have any, so I did want to, can we have the list of dates?
Yep.
Just between the three of us, if you had plans to attend anything, or maybe we can, and I'll share this with Jamie and Lindsay as well.
Okay.
Do we need to do this now, or can it be done?
Were you doing a review of action steps?
I can send out the other end of the year, because
Yeah.
right now I just have the secondary ones with me. I can get the other ones and email them to everybody and ask for people to sign up.
We could
A lot
email
of it's
you
on
about
FMX
when we're
too.
available.
That's where I go to get mine
Yeah.
on FMX.
Yeah.
And that takes more work.
So in board coordination, I want to assign people or have people volunteer to do you and Lori's evaluations. Can I do that in action steps, do you think?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you can.
So the plan is, I'd like to have one person from the last cycle stay with that. Lindsay and Jamie have already said they're fine, they're flexible to go wherever. So I'm going to stay with Lori's evaluation. Alicia, you're comfortable, since you're here, staying with
yeah.
Dave's? Okay, so would you like to join either of those evaluations?
I could join either. Does not. I'd be happy to join you with Lori's, unless you think that Lindsay or Jamie would want to do that.
They completely defer to whoever's here.
So I can join you with Lori's.
Okay,
I haven't worked with you on anything for a long
Okay.
time, so.
great, sounds good. And then Lindsay worked with you last time, so I think I'll have Jamie work with you this time.
Great.
Okay, thank you. So those would be action steps then. Okay, we're going to have an executive session now. There'll be nothing that happens afterwards, no voting, just the announcements about the next board meeting. So be nothing
Just
to
add
stay.
the restorative practice piece on possible, I
Yeah.
know that's a
Yeah.
process, but
Right. Yeah.
Oh, for action steps, yeah.
Yep.
even this summer.
Yeah, it'll be this summer.
Mhm.
Got it.
Okay, can I have a motion for executive session?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I will move.
And I'll second.
Okay, we'll call a vote for that, Mr. Alberto.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Gast?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Okay, we are in executive session.
Great, thank you. Is there a camera still on?